Oh, okay. I don't want to read anymore. I'd rather watch TikTok.
5 strongest characters in Kung Fu Panda. Can you guess number 1? You think Po is the strongest? Number 5, Tai Lung trained by Master Shifu himself.
Oh, that's an edit from that movie that just came out. You know, I kinda like it. Why are there so many edits of this movie? Oh, okay, just keep scrolling. What the hell? Why my feed is flooded with these edits? Oh, TikTok, enough, please, just show me something else. Stop. Stop. Please, something else. Stop. Stop. Stop! No, no. Enough. Fine. I'll watch this damn movie. Okay. The Gorge, a 2025 sci-fi action romance. If you're wondering why I decided to watch it, blame TikTok. Seriously, like every other edit on my TikTok is from The Gorge. So is this movie actually worth the obsession, or is it just another overhyped TikTok trend? Let's not waste any time and dive straight into the review. Two lead snipers, Levi, a former US Marine, and Rasa, a highly skilled Lithuanian covert operative, are assigned identical missions to guard opposite sides of a remote top-secret gorge for 1 year, with no contact allowed between them or the outside world. Upon arrival, Levi is briefed by his predecessor JD, a former British Royal Marine corporal. JD explains that the location is concealed by powerful cloaking antennas, keeping it hidden from the world. The towering outposts they occupy aren't just for surveillance, they serve as the last line of defense against the monstrous entities trapped below, creatures only known as the Hollow Men. Also before departing, JD issues a cryptic warning about Stray Dog, an emergency protocol with unknown consequences. He also reveals that entire battalions of soldiers were sent into the Gorge in the late 1940s, but unfortunately none ever returned. After several uneventful weeks, the silence between Levi and Rasa is finally broken, when Rasa, unable to ignore the isolation any longer, decides to bend the rules. Defying the strict no-contact protocol, she initiates a playful exchange with Levi using written signs. What starts as a simple message soon escalates into a friendly sharpshooting competition. Their light-hearted challenge, however, is abruptly interrupted when a swarm of Hollow Men attempts to breach the Gorge's edge. Levi and Rasa spring into action, combining their precise marksmanship with automated turrets to defend both their towers. As the days pass, their bond deepens despite the physical distance. I especially enjoyed the subtle nods of the actors' previous works, like the chess scene and their improvised drum sets. Small but clever references. On February 13th, Levi stumbles upon Rasa, visibly distraught. She's crying, overcome with grief as she recalls the promise her father made to her earlier in this film, that he would end his life on Valentine's Day due to his battle with cancer. The weight of his words hangs heavy on her, and for the first time, Levi sees the vulnerability behind the tough exterior. Moved by the sight of Rasa's pain, and after reading the wall comics left by his predecessors, or maybe because of the 6 months without a girl touch, I don't know, he decides to break protocol one more time and ziplines across the gorge to have dinner with Rasa. As a result, the two of them spend a rare intimate evening together. But as dawn breaks the next day, Levi attempts to return to his tower. Unfortunately, his cable snaps, a result of the mines detonated by the Hollow Man below. Levi's parachute barely deployed in time. Without hesitation, Rasa grabs her gear and parachutes after him. And personally for me, this moment marks a clear divide in this movie. The first half that is centered on the intricate and almost poetic communication between the characters is easily the strongest part of this movie. Drass, as extroverted and fearless one, constantly pushes Levi out of his comfort zone, forcing him to dance, stealing his clothes while he's in the shower, and never missing a chance to challenge his serious demeanor. Meanwhile, Levi, ever the cautious introvert, hesitates to engage at first, wary of breaking the strict no-contact rule enforced by his boss. But as their dynamic evolves, you can't help but root for them, knowing that in a place as isolated and unforgiving as the Gorge, their bond is the only thing keeping them sane. But from this point on, the movie shifts into a more standard yet visually impressive action spectacle, packed with a variety of monstrous creatures. Here's what I mean. After skydiving into the Gorge, Drass pulls off a badass rescue, saving Levi from what I can only describe as a land-dwelling chupacabra or something. Their plan is simple: head to the east wall, grab the cable and climb back. However, before they get far, 3 hollow men mounted on skeletal horses ambush them, forcing the duo into a fight. Our heroes manage to fight back, taking down 2 of the hollow men while the third one escapes. But here's the twist: they realize the monsters they just killed were actually the soldiers sent here after World War II. Drass also makes another discovery: the auto-ascender is gone, which means their whole climb out of here plan is officially dead. So, here is new plan: head south to the river and hope it leads them out of this nightmare. But their journey takes a turn when they come across an old church. At first it seems abandoned, but they quickly discover they are not alone. The place is crawling with skull spiders, and before they can react, more hollow men close in, forcing them into yet another fight for survival. Piff piff piff, puff puff puff, a few quick shots, a grenade launcher blast against the wall, and just like that, our snipers are sprinting towards the Gorge wall. Inside they stumble upon what looks like an old research facility, long abandoned but eerily intact. They find a dusty film reel with ominous inscription: "God, forgive us." Realizing this might finally explain what the hell is going on, they fire up generator and start the projector. The screen flickers to life, revealing a woman from 1946. She explains that she was part of a top-secret coalition, both East and West working together, developing biochemical missiles with destructive potential rivaling the atomic bomb. But before they could finish, an 8.1 magnitude earthquake hit, devastating the facility.
Our duty here is no longer about research, but containment.
As a result of the disaster, human DNA merged with plants, animals, and even insects, creating the mutated creatures that now inhabit the Gorge. However, the transformation doesn't happen instantly. Short-term exposure of a few hours is relatively safe, but prolonged contact over several days leads to irreversible changes. Realizing they don't have much time, Drass and Levi push forward, searching for an exit before it's too late. But instead of a way out, they come across something unexpected: a computer. Unlike the rest of the facility's outdated equipment from the late 1940s, this machine is modern. And at this moment I was just sitting there like, come on Levi, be a good boy and just put your finger on a camera. Or, I don't know, just cover it with a piece of paper or something. It won't kill you, I promise. But nope, he doesn't. And of course this little decision will bite them later. But moving on, Levi and Drass uncovers a big secret. Turns out there's an organization called Dark Lake that's still actively studying the creatures in the Gorge. And guess what for? That's right, yet another attempt of making super soldiers. Because apparently we haven't had enough of those. Captain America, Resident Evil, Bloodshot, Deadpool, Robocop, nah, let's run it back one more time. If Hollywood loves anything more than super soldiers, it's using the "we're searching for a cure for cancer" excuse. Oh, and they also learn what Stray Dog really is. It's not some emergency backup plan, it's a full-blown self-destruction protocol. If the Gorge's hidden location is ever compromised, the whole place gets nuked, wiping out every trace of the creatures inside. With all this new information, Levi and Drass leave the facility, only to be immediately attacked by a Hollow Man. This one doesn't just charge at them, instead he drags Drass back to his lair and kinda tries to kill her. But honestly, it feels more like he's just trying to intimidate her. I mean, come on, a fully mutated 100kg soldier and all he does is toss her around and put on a little spark show with his sword? Feels a bit theatrical. Anyway, Levi tracks them down and kills the Hollow Man, who, surprise surprise, turns out to be Shaw Bradford, the very first Watcher of the Wall. And honestly, I don't know why they added this plot point, it doesn't really do anything, they just kill him and move on. Wouldn't it have made more sense if he had retained some part of his consciousness and actually contributed something to what we learned from the film reel? If the filmmakers just wanted another fight scene, they could have still had one, just make Bradford unstable, let him struggle between his past self and his mutation, and then have him finally snap and attack the main characters. Yeah, it's still a cliché, but at least it would have meant something. Our heroes keep trekking through the gorge, fighting off new monsters along the way, until they stumble upon an old jeep with a winch. And that, my friends, is their golden ticket out of this nightmare. Of course, it's not as simple as just driving away, they have to battle Hollow Man while making their escape, but I'll just skip this, it's just another fighting scene. Okay, once they're back at this tower, they agree to quarantine for 5 days, just in case. That's how long it takes for symptoms to show if they've been infected. If they are all clear, they will trigger Stray Dog and nuke the gorge to protect future watchers and prevent any of these horrors from ever getting out. And then, to celebrate their survival, vodka shots. And not just a sip, they down half a glass in one go without even flinching. I swear American movies always make it look like vodka is just plain water, but in reality, it should look more like this. The next day, Levi ziplines back to his tower for his monthly radio check-in. During the call, the woman who hired him starts asking some very suspicious questions, like whether he's been down in the gorge because they just discovered their research computer was activated. Levi tries to play it cool, acting like he has no idea what she's talking about, but that doesn't work. She's got a video from the Dark Lake computer showing him and Rasa. And you know what? It's all because Levi didn't put his finger on the camera. But actually, there probably was a microphone too, so it's really just a nitpick at this point. Anyway, the woman decides to send a team to take out Levi and Rasa the next day, so the characters set up a trap, destroying the cloaking antennas and triggering Stray Dog. Big boom, bad guys go down, good guys stay alive. Surprise surprise, good guys are not infected. April, Friends, Rabbit Pie, happy end. So, pros and cons, and let's start with pros. First of all, the first part of the movie really grabs you. Next, the visuals of the gorge. They are absolutely stunning. These vast landscapes and this incredible sense of isolation, plus mutants, they look amazing too. And the last thing I want to mention is great acting, but actually that's kind of a given when you have heavyweights like Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. Now on to the cons, and of course it's the second part of the movie. It's not bad, but it does feel weaker compared to the first one. I think the reason of this is the lack of screen time. The duration of the second part is just an hour, and during this time they had to explain what's really going on in the gorge, add more action scenes to justify the genre, and wrap things up with a happy ending. As a result, they didn't have time to answer some lingering questions. For example, what's the deal with different colors of fog? We see yellow, purple and red fogs, and my guess is that each one triggers different types of mutations. Like in the yellow fog they encounter just a Hollow Man and a millipede-like mutant, in the purple fog we get those creepy skull spiders, and in the red fog they face these jelly-like people who are all connected. But they never really explain the significance of the different fogs. Another question that goes unanswered is the true motive of the people who hired Rasa, who never even find out who exactly enlisted her. Maybe their goal is the same as Dark Lake's, but it's never addressed. On a scale from Pacific Rim Uprising to First John Wick, I'd place it somewhere in the middle, maybe leaning a little bit closer to John Wick. So I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's definitely worth a watch once, but I wouldn't go back for a rewatch. Anyway, that's it. And please stop sending me the Gorge edits on my TikTok FYP. I've set up the shot, but I have an invited actor on my video. Flash? Hey, go away. No, you won't sleep here.